Welcome back to another episode of It's in the Details. As always, please remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the buttons. Hit the buttons, tell a friend. We have a lot of very nerdy things to talk about. This is a nerdy show. This is a nerdy episode. And you might be looking at me or listening to me thinking, yeah, that's who you are, right? You're a big nerd about all this stuff. And fine. I don't care what y'all think about how cool I am anyway. Remember to comment and rate and hit the like button and subscribe and stuff. Moving on. This is a little bit of a nerdy episode. I'm going to start with one of my favorite nerdy things, Jeopardy. Okay, if you're a Jeopardy fan, you'll dig this, you might get it. If you're not, you might become one. Who knows? Who knows, right? Jeopardy, as of today's date, has another 30-day champion, okay? Amy Schneider has been dominating folks for 30 episodes. She is now the $5 million champion in Jeopardy history. And as our host, Ken Jennings, keeps telling us, she's only the fourth to do it in regular season play. They've got Tournament of Champions and other things where people could top that $1 million mark. But she's the fifth one and the fourth to do it in regular season play. Why is this interesting? Well, it's interesting to me because when you get a Jeopardy champ who's going to be around for a long time, it's good, important, imperative. It was one of those words, maybe a different one, that you like the champ. If you are into the show, you watch the show religiously. The show comes on, you watch it day after day after day. Having a Jeopardy champ that you dislike for whatever reason, right? Having a Jeopardy champ that you dislike has to be super painful. Okay? I speak a little bit from experience, and these are just people. I don't have any grudges against these people, right? But we had the last one, Matt Amodio. He kind of dressed a little bit funny. He was a little bit quirky-ish, you know. I didn't like how he responded to any of the questions. He used the same question format for all answers. Like if they're asking about a president, he doesn't say who. He just says what was Eisenhower or whoever the president was. Like that stuff drives a slightly OCD person like me crazy. Okay? Drives me crazy. But talented champion he was, and risky. He took the risks, much like a James Holtzhauer before him, who was out here winning $150,000 an episode because he was going hard on all of the double Jeopardies and the final Jeopardies when he was ahead. But they were fun to watch. They were fun to watch. Amy Schneider, the current champ, I'm so comfortable with Amy. Like, as she gets more and more comfortable being on the show, we get more and more information about her. She lets us in a little bit more, lets us know how she became this Jeopardy genius that she is over all these episodes, what created that for her in her lifetime. She shared a story on a recent episode about her mom and how her mom helped her train for spelling bees and things like that. Just fantastic stuff. And what you need out of a Jeopardy champ is someone that's just going to hold your hand and just usher you through every episode. Over time, you learn the categories that belong to them, those categories which everybody else on the show should stay away from. Don't pick those categories unless you want to lose the ability to pick categories. And really, she's so good. She's so smart. She's so worldly that almost all of the categories are her categories. But like, you don't mess with Amy in anything that could be in a crossword, right? If it's got something to do with vocabulary, if it's a word puzzle to solve, you leave Amy alone. Don't pick that category because it's going to be hers, right? You could try to steal a question, but don't start it because you look like an idiot, right? The other surprising thing about Amy is down on her pop culture. Pop culture. Like, I struggle to understand how you have an immense knowledge of Antarctica, presidents, 16th century artists and painters, and you know who Tupac is. And you know the title of Jay-Z's last album. Like, how does she know all these things? She's talking about the new Sex and the City. And she knows that Will Smith did all these different movies. How does she know all these things? Where's the time to do all the book stuff, know all the travel geography stuff, know all the history stuff, and you're up on the pop culture of today and yesterday and 10 years ago? She knows it all of it. I'm enjoying it. I'm really thoroughly enjoying it. And Ken Jennings has been the host for all of Amy's episodes. He seems to be thoroughly enjoying it as well. I think he really enjoys the fact that he's watching another Jeopardy superstar in his first season hosting Jeopardy. He's got to be enjoying that thoroughly. She's chasing down his records. She's chasing down other big champs' records. It's delightful. It's also great to see how well he knows her. He knows the bets and things that she likes to make. He also knows when she knows answers and when she doesn't know answers, and when she's stumbling or hesitating on any regular answer or a daily double, and she pulls it out in the last second, you can see him stunned, physically or audibly, that she somehow found her way to the correct answer 5 seconds in after clearly not knowing it when she was asked the question, which is delightful as well. The other thing about solid Jeopardy champs is when you're watching, you get to pick up on your own little idiosyncrasies with them. The pauses and when she knows the answer and when she doesn't know the answer, but also when she does. When she rings in and she knows that answer, there's an authority with which Amy answers those questions. She answers the question in a way where if she could pick the next category or the next question before you say yes, she was right, she'd be on to it. And you say yes and get out of her way so she can keep it moving. But when she doesn't, there's a little pause. You can see a little head tilt. There's all those little idiosyncrasies of, I hope I get this right. And that leads me to, inevitably, there will be another Jeopardy champ. At some point, she's going to lose. At some point, she's going to lose, and I'll be slightly heartbroken. But what could cushion the blow is if one of these other competitors that are inevitably going to take her spot has a little something to them, a little zest. You know what I mean? They bring a little something that's going to be fun to watch. And not in the most recent episode I watched, because she mollywopped both of those people, but in the episode before that, there was a guy that gave me some mixed feelings. He did a lean. He rung in and he put a lean down almost every time he answered a question. And for me, that was interesting. It's fun to watch, right? I wonder how he looks when he authoritatively knows he's got the right answer. But the little lean was fun. But he couldn't speak well. You know what I mean? So when he was right, when he was interacting, he wasn't as charming as Amy or some of our other champs. But I know this. When it comes time to lose, please Please don't let it be someone boring that I don't like. Especially when unseating one of the best Jeopardy champs we've ever had. Love you, Amy. You're great. The people know I love the Olympics. I love it. I almost didn't make it through the last Olympics. I was so excited. I tried to watch everything and, go back. I think it was like episode 9 or something. Go back and take a look at me trying to maneuver my way through the Olympics. But they're coming again. The Winter Olympics are coming. I'm not as excited about the Winter Olympics, I gotta say. I just don't care about as many events in the Winter Olympics as I do in the summer. When I was a kid, I used to be down for the figure skating. The men and the women. All the pairs, ice dancing, not really my thing, but the singles, the men's and the women's, here for it. And I remember as a child, one of the things I loved about the figure skating was the falling. I enjoyed the falling thoroughly. I don't so much anymore because now as an adult, I understand these people have been training their lives to go to this event and try to become the best in the world or at least get on the podium, right? Just a personal best. You know what I mean? All those things. I hope that for these people now, right? But back then, when the brigadooms were happening, when they go up and they spin and brigadoom down on the ground, I laughed. I laughed hard. I don't know what happened, but between then and now, I stopped watching figure skating entirely. I couldn't be bothered. The U.S. Olympic trials happened this past weekend, and I don't know what made me stop on it, but I stopped on it. It was the men's U.S. Olympic trials. That's what was available to me at the time. And I could not believe what was happening. Okay. The period of time I took off of watching figure skating, the sport has skyrocketed. It has completely changed into a different sport. First of all, they had a running tally of the score happening on the screen while they were skating around. Each jump that they hit or it fell, it showed you how much the max they could get, what they were going to get, whether the judges were reviewing the jump to see if they made all the revolutions. Was it a clean turn? How many deductions are they going to get? Are they reviewing? All of the things. They had all the things happening up in the corner. So that was one. It's not completely open scoring because they score, it seems, some of the more artistic work and things like that in the background. You get that at the end when they go sit down for judging. But the jumps are happening in everybody's face. I thought that was weird. I thought it was a little bit weird, but I was like, okay, cool. They got some semblance of open scoring, right? As I continue to watch, I realize back when I used to watch, there were 2 dudes doing quadruple jumps. So they were spinning 4 times. Two guys. 2, I think it was. Now, every skater that was near the top, I'd say the top 7 or 8, all had at least one quad in their routine. Okay. Everybody's way fitter than they were back then, and they've been training hard. Okay, cool. What I also saw was some intricate footwork, some artistic dancing artistic skating by these gentlemen across the ice. Beautiful. They're doing things on skates. I can't even imagine how you conjure up, hey, let's stick this foot in the ground in this direction, the foot in the other direction, and then we're going to spin around 7 times. Not a jump, just on the ice, pirouetting around the ice, doing all sorts of wonderful poses, gliding from one side to the other without any strides. All sorts of really cool, beautiful looking stuff to watch. And apparently they don't care. They don't care at all about any of that stuff. They don't care. And the way they score with the open scoring of the jump should tell you they don't care, because they don't score any of this artistic stuff openly. Right? Not at all. You want further proof? There was a young gentleman. Actually, I don't know how young. He's younger than me. He's a young gentleman. I believe his name was Jason Brown. Put down some of the most beautiful, intricate skating I'd ever seen in a program. Okay? Didn't have all the jumps, didn't have the quads, right? He put down a clean skate, finished fourth. Okay? The person that finished second is a 17-year-old. His Instagram account is called Quad God. Okay? He hit about 5 or 6 quads in his routine that I saw. Finished second. Didn't fall. But when he was skating around doing the intricate artistic stuff, he looked like Bambi had just watched her mom get shot as she decided to skate around this ice. It was rough. 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 Okay? 2 left feet, 2 left arms, 2 left eyes. Rough. It was hard to watch. I couldn't believe it. But a very talented young man, and I'm sure he'll get there, right? He'll get there. The man that finished first, they were gassing him up for both days of the weekend, gassing him up. He has changed the game. He is doing things no one ever thought could be done on the ice. He is the Michael Jordan of figure skating. Nathan Chen. Okay? Nathan Chen was very powerful. He had a lot of quads. He hit a lot of them clean. He didn't hit all of them clean, however. He fell down once on a jump. Okay? And then he fell down a second time doing some dance moves. Okay? Some dance moves he hadn't had in his routine in apparently quite a long time. But he fell down 2 times in his final routine. 2. Not one of the guy who finished third fell once. Second and fourth, no falls that I saw. I could be wrong, but no falls that I saw. He fell down twice. He beat these fools by about 20 points. He had 328 points. The guy in second had 308 or something like that. He fell down 2 times. What is going? You can't fall down when you're figure skating. But the emphasis they've put on in this sport apparently is jump high, spin around a lot, and if you fall down, that's okay. What about the stuff in between the jumps? Cool. We'll watch it. We like to see it. 4th place. That's as good. That's as good as you're gonna get if you can't do the quads, because they come with bonuses and all sorts of extra points, right? But if you could do all the fancy, beautiful stuff on the ground, you're not gonna win any medals around here, is what they're trying to say. However, confusingly, they got to pick their U.S. Olympic team. It wasn't, however you finish at this event, we're going to just automatically move people ahead. Okay? So, first place, he's the best. He's the Michael Jordan of figure skating, as they said. Yes? He's there, for sure. 3rd place, very seasoned individual. I believe his name was Vincent Joe. He had a nice skate the first day. Second day, he had a fall. Finished 3rd, right? They said, Vincent Joe, you go straight to the Olympics, right? That's 2. They get 1 more spot for the Olympics. Who do you think they took? Did they take the 17-year-old quad god? Or did they take the lower scoring artistic master? The artistic master. They took the artistic master. They told the quad god he needs some more seasoning, and they took the artistic master. Now, the commentators, Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir, weren't about that. They thought 100% You send that 17-year-old. He's not going to win, but he'll get some seasoning from the Olympics, and then he'll be ready to go come 2026. But the Olympic Committee said, cool story. We're going to leave the quad guy here and his 2 left feet and his 2 left arms and his 2 left legs, and he can get some seasoning at home. I'm confused. I don't know what they're doing, but I'll tell you this, I'm going to watch. All right, we're introducing something new. I'm going to talk about the weirdest thing I've seen lately. Okay? We'll see how it goes. This might be a segment. The weirdest thing I've seen lately is an Apple Watch commercial. I don't have an Apple Watch yet. I'm thinking about getting one. I might get one. I'm curious. I might get one. I don't really wear watches, but I'm intrigued. Okay, they can do some health things and keep a tab on your health stuff. I'm interested. I'm curious, right? But I watched the Apple Watch commercial the other day. It's in a forest. The camera's pushing through this forest. Looks very reminiscent to some hikes I've been on, to be perfectly honest. And then a voiceover starts. And the voiceover is Apple's automatic emergency system. And you can listen to the voiceover. You could search this Apple Watch commercial, look for a forest. You'll see it. I can't play it here. And the voiceover says, the user of this Apple Watch has taken a fall. The commercial's voiceover is essentially, the user of this Apple Watch has taken a fall. It calls 911 and it tells 911 the exact longitude and latitude of the person's position where they've taken this fall and may be hurt. Okay? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I think I saw it during Jeopardy. Okay? I don't know that Jeopardy's prime demographics is under 50 or 60. So they might be trying to sell Apple Watches to some seniors who might take some falls and might need to be saved because they can't get to the phone, right? Perfectly reasonable. What struck me weird about this, though, is the brazen nature of Apple saying, we're 100% tracking you every step you take. All of them. We're tracking you to this tiny little pinpoint, and at any time, we can let someone know where you are. They do it with your phone. They do it with the watch. We are being watched at all times, period. And is the suggestion that you can't get away from it, so you may as well embrace the good stuff that we can do while we're tracking you? Is that the idea? I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. Do I have a cell phone? Of course I have a cell phone. Is it tracking me? Of course it's tracking me. It's probably listening to me right now, right? But I just can't believe that a company would be so brazen to just say, yeah, we're tracking you. So what? This is the good stuff we can do with it. I don't think I necessarily want that Apple Watch anymore. I'm just going to try not to fall down. Anyway, y'all, I appreciate you joining me for another episode. As always, do all the things. Hit the buttons, tell a friend. We'll see you in a week. Take care, y'all. Peace.